And the other thing, you're absolutely right about B2B, because people tend to look at B2B on the assumption that B2B decisions are somehow completely rational. That obviously, yes, consumers buy cars for all kinds of emotional reasons, but once I put on a suit and sit at a desk, I somehow become this kind of calculating machine. I become a walking spreadsheet. And that isn't true either. And there's a huge amount of emotion going on in B2B decisions, partly because, of course, the stakes are so much higher and you're so much more frightened of blame.
True.
So I've often said, that maybe one of the reasons why there are so few accounting firms is that if you think about blame, if you appoint Pricewaterhouse or you appoint Deloitte, okay, and they mess up your audit, everybody blames Deloitte, okay? But if you appointed a small boutique accounting firm, they'd now blame you because you didn't appoint Deloitte or Pricewaterhouse or whatever. And so, it's one of those things I always notice that whenever you booked a flight to New York with Ogilvy, the travel people and the PAs would always put you on a flight from Heathrow to JFK. I mean, Ogilvy's offices are much closer to Newark than they are to JFK. And I suddenly realized what it is. It's the no blame option. Because there's nothing eccentric about Heathrow. I live miles from Heathrow. JFK is a long way from our offices, but it's the kind of default option. So if anything went wrong with my flight, I'd blame British Airways. But if my PA put me on a flight from Newark, say, or put me on a flight from Gatwick, and something went wrong, I might blame her. Because I might go, well, if you hadn't booked me from this Toy Town airport, I'd be in New York by now. What were you thinking booking me from Gatwick? Now, Gatwick was a more intelligent decision, but it was a much more blameworthy decision in terms of the risk you took. And so this is why innovation is so difficult within large organizations, because the need to defend the decision overrides the need to make a good decision. And so anything that's a bit counterintuitive or anything that's a bit unexpected or illogical or eccentric is very, very high risk in terms of blame. And so large companies often end up leaving the entrepreneurs to take those kind of risks, not because they can't afford to take the risks themselves, they could, but simply because the culture within a large organization makes it career suicide to try something adventurous and fail.